Hey everyone, welcome back to Sold on Love from the Orange Chairs, where we talk about real estate, real life, real love. I'm Paul, and this is my incredible, gorgeous husband, Fernando.
Together, we are the Lords Elnor team, husbands, realtors, and business partners. In our podcast, we mix real estate tips with real life moments from our journey as a couple with a 30-year age gap, working, living, and loving side by side.
Exactly. So, whether you're buying your first home, investment home, second home, whatever, or selling even, or if you just love a good love story, we think there's something here from you.
Absolutely. Today, we are going to deep into something that is incredible personal for us. We are talking what it's like being gay in today's world and how to play out in real estate, right? And the real love, real life keep us going. This is our perspective and points of view. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. We don't sit here to profess that we know everything or that what our experience is somebody else's. It's just our point of view. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to share with you maybe what we've gone through a little bit. If you've ever wondered what it's like to live authentically yourself after years of hiding, because we both have done that too. I think this is going to be interesting. This is sort of our heart, sort of unfiltered.
Yeah, so grab a sip, buckle up, and let's get real.
Exactly. I love that.
So, people think that being gay today is easy, like, oh, marriage is legal, like, must be perfect now. But I don't think so.
Yeah, it's. I love that people think that. Yeah, it's not easier. Maybe it's easier than it used to be. I mean,
Yes,
our stories are similar in timing, but perfect. Yeah, not even close. There's a lot of work to be done still.
absolutely. Well, here is the thing. A lot of people don't know about us this topic because different age,
Yeah,
but we both came out basically 15 years ago, like basically at the same time,
yeah, pretty
kind of
close. Pretty close.
different age because at that time I was what 15. Paul was in his 40s, so even when we
Uh,
came up at the same time, we were in different age states and different parts of our
yeah,
life in that time. So it
exactly.
were different experiences for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. And what I think is interesting about just that, even though it's the same amount of time that we sort of both came out in the ballpark, it's interesting where you started and where I started, right? Because I was married to a woman. For those of you who don't know that, I have two wonderful boys. Um, and I was sort of, you could say I was living the American dream, I guess. I was professional, I had wife, kids,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
you were
Um,
living that type of life
yeah,
that everybody expected
exactly.
for you to
Exactly.
do.
Exactly. The big house, stable job, picture perfect life. But yeah, I was definitely hiding. I don't know how, I can't say early on I knew I was hiding, but I was definitely hiding. I knew towards the end for sure I was hiding a secret life, so to speak. So, and it was crushing me.
Yeah, it's like for me it was different because I mean I was 15, so of course I wasn't married at that time. But it was more like the pretending part, like smiling at family dinners, keeping secrets and feel like I was half alive. I couldn't be myself. I was scared all the time of what people were gonna think about
Yeah.
being gay. And I come from a small town, so being gay in a small town is even more difficult.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. And I think, the other thing I would just say this is that you don't have to be gay to appreciate this podcast, right? You don't even have to be an ally. But if you're hiding a secret or you have something going on that maybe it's been weighing on you for years, 15 years, you understand some of the things that we're saying
Yes.
and what it can do to you because living with a secret ages you. I mean
Yeah,
it just does. You
it is.
become, I hate the way this sounds, but you do sort of become a professional liar, right? You learn to shake your head, nod your head the right way or whatever in a maybe in an area which you're uncomfortable in, and you laugh at jokes that you would never laugh at.
Yeah,
They hurt and cut to the core, but you laugh at them because that's just where we're at.
absolutely. And also the fear is not just being about being judged. It's about losing everything, like your family,
Yeah.
your friends, your career. Once you say I'm gay, you can know say that thing, and since you don't know how to others are gonna be react about this, frankly, you're always scared all the
Yeah.
time. I was scared when I before I came out. Like I was in high school, I was bullied all the time because I was skinny. So imagine plus that being saying I'm gay, I was
Yeah.
gonna be bullied even more.
More.
So I was scared all the time. And at some point when I came out, I said like, I don't care anymore about what people think about me. This is me, and I don't want to hide anymore. And I say, they were teasing me and bullying me, saying, "Oh, you're gay. You like boys. You just like to be around girls. You don't like to play with the boys." Blah blah. blah. So like, well, yes, I'm gay. And what? After I
Yeah.
say
Now
that,
what?
after I say that, actually they stopped. They stopped teasing me because they didn't have a reason to bother me anymore. That didn't bother me anymore, and I became kind of free.
Yeah, you kind of owned it, so to speak. I mean, you owned it anyway, but you owned it out loud. And when you own something out loud, all the things that are happening behind the scenes kind of go away a
Yep.
little bit.
Yep.
There's sort of that. I know when I finally said it out loud, completely different experience. I know that when you did, I was pretty damn nervous. I admit it. 40-year-old guy, or in mid 40s ish, I guess I should say,
But I will
grown
say
man.
that. But let me
Uh,
say this. I will say that this is pretty normal
yeah,
in most gay men, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
Because I know a lot of friends that they actually would marry, they have children and all of that, but because the expectations at that time of their families, like I was telling you, what they expect, you get married with your high school sweetheart,
uh,
you got children, a perfect job, a big house, and you stay like that forever, just like your parents did.
yeah, I mean, we could probably have a whole podcast on just
Yes.
that statement alone, to be honest with you. But to keep it within the realm of what we're trying to discuss, I would say you're spot on, and you don't. It's I don't know, you just don't know till you get it out, I guess. And when I finally did, my life certainly changed as well. So, you know, but I get it. Kind of how you might feel, and people until you just I don't know what else to say. You can see sometimes we're getting tongue tied here because it's so much to absorb.
Yes, I feel like that when I was telling you when I was 15, because coming out is just like one time thing. And it's not just a one time thing, it's a lifetime moment, little
Yeah,
things, because every time that you move to a place, you're gonna say like, okay, new neighbors, new people. Should I say that I'm gay? Should I keep it by myself? So it becomes a little bit, do I share this? Is it safe to share this with people?
yeah,
Or should I just not say anything?
yeah. I'm just thinking back. I distinctly remember going through a lot of that when I did come out. I mean, even now, 15 years later, I still feel it sometimes. The instinct, maybe to check the room, see who's in the audience, whether we're going to hold hands or not. It just kind of depends on where we're at, or that. I think we're both. I mentioned this a couple times. We're incredibly confident people. So I think for us, maybe we're sometimes stronger than some other people that might be in our shoes, because I definitely have the feeling now. This is who I am. You either like me or not. I am not changing. I hid for so many years. I don't need to do that anymore, right? But
Absolutely.
unfortunately, the world is still full of very hateful people. So, you know, they don't really care about anything but themselves. So sometimes it just doesn't matter. So you do have to be smart.
Yes, and also traveling can be the same. And in some places we actually keep a little bit of the distance,
Yeah,
not because we are ashamed of who we are, but it's because sometimes it feels a little bit safer.
yeah,
So, and
yeah.
and you put that always in the back of your mind. Should I be holding hands? Should I be walking too close to him? Should I be kissing him in public? So there is places in this world that is still be not allowing that, and it's a crime and things like that. So you have to be kind of
Careful.
careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've experienced as a couple. We've experienced some of the ugliness, stares in restaurants, stares walking through airports,
Yes,
especially international airports where we may be holding hands or
yes,
whatever. We've seen some of that, and we've had the occasional car drive by and yell some really wonderful things at us,
yes.
which is always quite interesting. I'm like, okay, thank you for pointing that out. I already knew I was gay, but it's just stuff like that is really, and it does happen. And where it happens to us most, which is quite interesting, which will probably happen after we post this podcast, we get some really nasty stuff online sometimes.
Yes.
I'm incredibly amazed at what people are willing to do. And it's embarrassing. And we typically take the high road, but on occasion, we're like, okay, we're going dirty here. Right?
Yeah, but also there is the other side, you know. The nights that we walk by the waterfront in Fort Lauderdale, like the beach and things like that,
Oh,
like
yeah.
holding hands. And I think, well, I survived this. I get to live this, you know, after being so scared of being gay and coming out. So now is the time to be me and
Yeah,
enjoy
I
it, you
agree.
know, and own it too, you know. It's me,
Yeah.
and that is not gonna change.
I agree. I love that. Yeah, we live in a really great community, obviously, too, that we feel incredibly lucky to be able to express who we are um, and be just ourselves. So holding hands, things like that. I mean, we really are. And you're right. We kind of made it out of the closet, if you will. I mean, there's many different connotations you can go with that, but now we have the life we want, right? Full of love, laughter, craziness.
Absolutely.
So while it's been chaotic at times, we feel like we're where we're supposed to be.
Yes. So, for example, when I came out, I was a teenager. So, at the time, I needed to figure it out who I really was, who I, what I like, and things like that. And that was like kind of rare, weird in my
Yeah.
town because, like I say, I was from a small town. I was raised in a small town that
Yeah.
was like family oriented. Like I said, like everybody was expecting you to do the same, marry with your girlfriend, have children, get a job, and keep doing the same thing that everybody does. So, like for me, at 15 years old, was like discovering who
Well,
I wanted to be in life, and that was like kind of hard, but it felt good, you know, and it
yeah.
feels good right now because I know who I am.
Just listening to you say what you just said, those exact words, I'm thinking that was exactly my life, actually. When you think about it, I mean, I grew up in a small town in Kansas. Even though I am a New Yorker, the reality of it is I spent most of my childhood in Kansas. And I lived in a very small town, very similar to what you lived in, right? And
Yes.
so I went through the same thing. People knew my family really well. I don't know that I knew then specifically. I knew something was different about me, but can't, back in the day, it was a little different than where it is plastered all over the place now, but it was exactly the same life. There's no question. I think that's why there's so much connection between us
Yes.
because
Also,
there's a lot of similarities.
yes, you have to keep in mind that 15 years ago is not like today. And
Yeah.
30 years ago is not like today either, or like 15 years ago, you know? Everything is, how do you say, changing,
Yeah.
evolving.
Yes. Evolving. Very. Yeah.
So 15 years ago was like still kind of a little bit of no good to
Yeah.
be gay
No doubt
in
about it.
certain
Yeah. I
places.
agree.
Now it's like I go to my town and I see so many gay new people, and I was like, okay, where did this
What
come from?
happened?
What happened? I wish I was growing up in this situation, you know,
Yeah.
and I feel like kind of proud that it's more open-minded the town, you know, that the town is growing in that
Yeah.
situation because like it's more gay people coming every time.
Yeah, I agree. And for a 40-year-old man, walking to a gay bar is really strange too. But I kind of look at it this way when I think of all the things going on. I lived my life in the past in black and white.
Yes.
Being with you, I live in color.
Yes.
And
Wow,
I
that
love
is
that.
beautiful. I love that phrase. Wow. Yes, you know, and probably that is why our love is so strong because we are not just two men, you know, we are like two survivors of like every gay person in this world.
Yeah.
I think everybody feels that same way when you actually can be free and be yourself after so many things that you have to go through in life. You should be like, okay, I survived this. I can do anything, you know.
Yeah. And, I'm just going to put a bow on sort of this real quick. When you get to be, God help me, my age, and I'd say this to you all the time that I realize, listen, life is finite right now. Until somebody invents some way to take my head, put it somewhere else or whatever, which I'm sure that would thrill the hell out of you at 90 years old. But until that happens, life is finite. And where I'm at today is a whole lot different space than I was before.
Yes,
I'm kind
I
of like,
agree with that.
people's opinions, great, have them. They're not mine. I'm going to go live my life and do everything I can to be happy, and that's what I love about us is we have that attitude.
And even when we have lost people in the way of becoming ourselves, the best part is like actually you can be yourself.
Yeah,
That is a win-win.
it
So you
is.
have to get that, you have to make that like your powerful thing, your strength,
Your
you
power.
win yourself.
I love that, and we'll wrap this session off. This section off by just let me just say that just be you, be authentically you. And I think for most people, like before Fernando and I came out, a lot of people had a head start on us on what that might look like. And I feel like, we have been trying to play catch up. What does authentically me mean in today's environment? And I think, over the last several years, we've started to really understand what that means.
Yeah, so now that you say that, I want to add a little bit part on this. For example, in my family, I have a gay brother too that is a little bit older than me. And my mother was always very proud of us, very always accepting who my brother and I were. She never was like, I can now deal with
Yeah,
this.
that's
She was
awesome.
always there for us and she'll still be there for us. And in my family, we have always teach our nephews, nieces how to be good to other people. Why? Because they have LGBTQ members in their families. So they have to be good to everybody too. And also, a lot of people don't know this, but I come from black family too. Even when I'm white or this light, I come from black family. I'm half black. My
Yeah,
mother is half black. My grandma was black.
yeah,
Um, Also, I have a niece that is dark, is black. So it's like for us, we always encourage our family to be proud of who we are or from where we came from
I love that.
and be respectful to everybody else. So actually, that starts from the family. You have to teach your children how to be with other people and
Yeah,
be
agreed.
respectful to other people is very important in these
I
days.
love that. That's a fist bump moment there for sure. Very good. All right. So,
Let's
anyway,
start with our
yeah, there's
questions.
a lot more on this topic we could go, and we'll sure in other podcasts we'll be talking a lot more about this for
Absolutely.
sure. So, surprise questions. I think you have the first question to me.
Yes. Okay.
Am I allowed to? I can't look at it, right?
If you could go back and talk to yourself in the closet one day before you came out, what would you say?
Oh, good God. I would say, and I think I've gotten really good at this anyway, and I had some of this mentality before, but I would say, don't worry about what people think.
Yes.
It took me a while to get there, to be honest with you, because when I came out, I kind of did a lot of checking in. What do you think? What do you think? And I don't want to say I forced myself on people, but I felt like I had moments where I was forcing
So basically, you
that
were
issue.
asking people what they think about gay people
I,
before you came out?
no, I came out and then I just kind of shoved it in people's faces to sort of say, see, I'm gay. You still love me, right?
Oh, okay.
And so it took me a while to realize that that wasn't my job. My job was to be Paul,
Yes,
and
that it wasn't
that's it.
about them. It was
No,
about
no. And
you. Okay.
it took me a little while to realize that, and I needed to, and I didn't have anything major epiphany happen, but I had a little thing happen that made me realize, you know what, this is not my problem. I'm just going to be who I am. And if you don't like me because I'm gay, then you were never meant to be in my life for the rest of my
Absolutely. That
life.
is true.
You were a chapter or a page in a book of my life. And now I'm turning the page, I'm moving on. If you want to be part of that, that's fantastic. And thank you for joining me. If you don't want to be on this journey with me, you don't have to be. And I don't have to be okay with you. I mean, I don't have to be sad that you've decided not to. I'm just going to go live my life.
Yeah,
And
that's a
so,
pretty
so if I
good.
could tell myself, the thing I would say is, don't worry about other people.
Wow, that is
So,
very good.
all right. So I have a surprise question for you. So
Okay.
look away. When was the very first moment? We're really testing you now. You realized you loved me out loud without fear.
Wow.
Ding, 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 ding,
I
ding.
think that is when I saw, for the person that I just admire you, but for the person that make my heart feel like I have finally found the right person and I finally found home, you know. So it's like it was
Yeah,
when
that's
you
cool.
look at me without hesitation, and I can feel your love for me in every word, in every glance, in every touch. That is when I stopped telling myself, I stop worrying about uh, getting hurt, stop being about getting disappointed at some point, and just love him, giving the opportunity to love you and be happy. So in that moment, I stopped like being worried about the
Oh,
fear.
that's awesome. That's a cool answer. You win. You win. You win.
So let's talk about now about being gay in real estate. How is being gay in real
Yeah,
estate
because
these
you're
days?
probably wondering how are we transition this, but so there. First of all, we're not the only two gay realtors
We know
in
a
all of the
lot of gay
world. There's
realtors,
tons of
yes.
us, right? And we know it's a profession that our particular community does thrive in sometimes too. So we get that this is just our opinion ourselves, but
Yes, I was
um,
just gonna say that. Remember
yeah,
that this is just
yeah,
our opinion,
yeah.
our point of view.
Yeah, and our experiences so far working together as a team. It's our own experiences. It's sort of our own flavor, if you will, so to speak.
Yeah, so flavor is a nice word actually, Real estate is about everything. It's about people being their opinions, their bases, everything that have to be on the table.
Yeah,
It is a flat out of human nature, and we all have an unconscious
bias.
bias,
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah. People do have unconscious biases, and I know that we do too. You don't realize that's why they're called unconscious, and then somebody might bring them to your attention, and you realize, oh crap, I should probably think differently. Because I've had clients say things like, "Oh, so you're married to a man?" And it come out of the blue because I don't say, "Hey, I'm your realtor, I'm gay." I'll say, "Oh, my husband and I work together," and sometimes we see those little snickers or little
Faces, yes,
faces, but you can feel the moment when they decide how they're going to feel about you. We get really good at that over the years, don't you?
yes.
You can tell. Some may say it's surprising in a good way. Some may not quite feel that way. Generally speaking, it really hasn't had a major impact in a big way for us so
No,
far.
not at all. But also, there is the opposite. We have had clients choose us specifically because we are gay,
Yeah, true.
because they like to work with friendly people, and some of them have said, we want someone who gets us, someone we can trust with our lives and dreams, because usually, well, gay people is like dreamers, like everybody dreams, we dream too, and we work hard for those dreams because it's
Yeah,
more difficult for us.
yeah, I agree.
So we think that we are genuine, and we recognize that, and people recognize that about us, and they see us
Yeah,
because we are real,
yeah.
so that is why some people choose us to be their
I agree.
realtors.
I agree. And I think that's huge because buying a home isn't just a financial decision, obviously. It's an incredibly emotional one, which we've talked about ad nauseum, how big it is. And for LGBTQ plus clients, and I mean, I guess you could probably say this for everybody, but it's also about safety and belonging to a community, having a sense of community when you buy or where you buy.
Yes. And like you say, location, location, location. It's just know about the proper value. It's like, can I walk my dog holding my partner's hands? Will be my neighbors a wave, or they will whisper? So it's also about a huge sense of community. Like,
Yeah.
how safe I'm gonna be feeling in this place.
Yeah, and what we've just talked about is maybe from the perspective of the LGBT community, but the same could be said for any client that we work with. They feel that way. And I feel like Fernando and I, over the years, have really gotten to understand that sense of community clearly
Yes.
because we seek that out ourselves. So, I think for the two of us, being able to transfer that into our work and clients is really helpful as well.
Yes.
But it's a difficult tightrope for sure, because when people ask questions about safety or crime or feeling of belonging, human nature may want to say, want to say to them, all these things that this is a safe neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. But from a professional standpoint, we really can't do that. We
No, we
have to be
cannot.
very careful about how we talk about communities. And so what we do is we provide people with um, public information, websites about something, or whether it's a crime statistic or whatever is public that we could provide them to help guide them. We'll certainly do that. But we are very mindful because all communities are a melting pot, and
Yes.
we can't specifically say because there's one bad apple suddenly that whole area is bad or whatever. You have to
Yes.
be
Yes.
really
That is
mindful about.
not right to do, and
Yeah,
also legally we
yeah,
cannot
it's
do it.
illegal. So
Yes.
we're very smart about that. But we understand what sense of community looks like. And
Yes.
we strive very hard to make that a fulfilling thing for a client because that is almost all the time one of their top things.
Yes, and also being gay in real estate means sometimes that you must read the room like with your colleagues or other
We're good
agents.
at that, aren't we?
Yes, there is still there is still some moments when someone makes a joke or a weird comment, and you must decide if you are gonna call it up, like say something about it,
Yeah.
or just close the deal and move on. So luckily, like for us, haven't been that
No.
common, I guess.
But a good way to look at.
But it can
Oh,
happen.
oh, heck yeah. And a good way to look at it is, life presents you with a million teachable moments.
Yes.
And do you make the decision to make that a teachable moment? Do you make that a decision to keep your mouth shut? I mean, that is, I know that this may seem trivial to some, um, but most of our gay friends and colleagues will tell you that it's actually a really big deal. And making a decision when, on where, or how you put your foot forward for that teachable moment or defending yourself or whatever
Yes.
is incredibly important because one, you don't want to minimize yourself, right? No one wants themselves marginalized or minimalized. But two, you also want to make sure that, you know, I don't know how else to say it other than educate, but I don't know that it's always our job to do that. See, I go back to my same thing again where I feel like I just people need to be educated, but it's not. I don't know if that's my job or
No,
not.
it's not our job. They have to learn also, like just like I was saying, when we read the room about comments or jokes, they have to do the same thing. They have to keep in mind that if you're making somebody uncomfortable, keep that in mind. You're making me uncomfortable. So
Yeah,
stop doing it if you don't want me to make you feel uncomfortable.
yeah, I agree. I agree. And uncomfortable jokes are uncomfortable jokes,
Yes.
aren't they? So for us, I would say our marriage is part of our brand. I mean, it obviously. I mean, we leverage the fact that we're a gay couple working together in real estate, but that's all that it is because I'm a mortgage expert. He's a design expert.
Yeah.
I'm a life expert. He's a photographer expert. I've got 30 years more life than him, so you could say I know some stuff, but he knows a bunch because he's got a cultural aspect differently than me. So even though we're gay, um, that really isn't who we are. It's part of who we are,
Yes, it's part
right?
of who we are. It's
Exactly.
not completely who we are.
Yeah,
It's just a little
exactly.
bit part of fragment that of who is Paul and who is Fernando or who is Juanito or whatever is
Right,
your
right.
name.
Don't know who Juanito is, but hello.
No, it's just like in the Spanish culture in Colombia, we say like when we want to call somebody else name or something, we say Juanito, Perencito,
Okay, got it, got it.
something
Okay,
like that. Like you don't refer to a name in a specific;
yeah,
it's just in general name.
gotcha. Okay, okay.
So it's like also is like being out and being a successful in real estate is like kind of what I would say activism.
Yeah, I like that.
Like every sold home, every happy client is proof that living authentically works. Like being
Yeah,
yourself works.
I love that. That is so true. All right, so that's sort of some of the connectivity. Like like we said earlier, this is a huge subject. I mean, we could spend a whole time on your coming out story or my coming out
Yes.
story or other experiences. I haven't even talked about my kids and all this, or
Yeah. I haven't talked about
his
my family
family. I mean, so
either,
there's a lot, but we wanted you to get a sense of kind of how important this dynamic is
Yes.
for us and
Yes.
what it means. So let's move on to some listener questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to start with the first one?
Sure. Sure.
Or
I say sure
I'll do
instead
it.
of sure.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Have you ever had a client refuse to work with you because you're a gay couple?
Oh, no, actually, that I'm aware of, that we are aware of, clients can always come back with any reason to don't work with you and try to mask the real reason. but that I know that somebody have specifically say, I don't want to work with you because you are gay. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I don't think so either. And I don't think in my entire career I've had anybody look me in the eye and say that. It doesn't mean that they haven't done that and just didn't say that, right?
Yes,
Because that
absolutely.
could be.
So let
Um,
next
yeah.
question. Do LGBTQ plus clients have different priorities when looking for homes?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question, but I just want to say this first. That sounded so cool the way you asked that question. I love that your accent sounded so cool to ask you. That was awesome.
I I
It
must
was
sound pretty funny when I speak,
no.
but
Oh my God, no, no,
now
no.
that you say that about the accent and everything, when I was learning English, for me that was a big fear too, like when I'm speaking in public or when I'm speaking with a group of people or even here in the podcast, sometimes I feel like, oh my God,
Nah,
I can say words that they can understand probably because of my pronunciation. And at the beginning, that was a big problem for me, and I didn't want to speak to anybody, and I didn't want to go to social events, so I didn't have to force myself to speak to
nah.
people.
You speak great.
But then at some point, I say like, well, you have to be proud of yourself because you don't speak just Spanish, that is your native language. You speak also English. And if somebody make fun of you for speaking two languages, when they speak one, don't care about that because you are smarter. You speak two.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, it sounded great. So I just wanted to tell you. So this question came from one of our first podcasts, actually. So we just saved it until because we kind of knew this might be a topic we would catch, and I would say no, not really. Again, go back to the question: do you have different priorities? Generally speaking, no. I think the only main item that feels different to us at times is just that community sense,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yes.
Right. All right. So we got another one. And I love this one. This is a really nice question. Who growing up do you consider your hero? We got that from a listener, which was a nice
Well, that is
question.
a very easy answer for me because growing up, I always look at my mom as my hero. Let me tell you
And
why.
I know that to be true.
Yes, let me tell you why is my mom. A lot of people will say, okay, that is an easy answer because everybody say is mom or dad. But no, for me, it's because she showed me what real strength and love look like. I learned from her how to love and have to be strong. And no matter how hard things get,
That's awesome.
she always made sure that I felt safe, I felt loved, and I felt like she cared for me and for my brothers and sisters. So she always taught me that being strong isn't about never struggling with something. It's about like achieving what you are struggling with. Like picking up yourself and moving forward
Each
each
time.
time.
I love
So
that.
always like her kindness, her belief in me, and the way she always knew how to bring even the hardest days for me. Even now, she do that. I will say my mom is my hero. She
I love
was
it.
my protector, my inspiration. She taught me what true love really is. For that, I will always be thankful for her. And
I,
she will always be my hero. Like I always tell her, you are the best.
I love that. I love that. And by the way, his mom is just an absolutely incredible, wonderful person. So I could see where that would come from for sure.
So, next question. How do you separate work and marriage so you don't go crazy?
We figure it out. It's not as easy as it sounds, but it can be tricky. You got to set boundaries. We sort of talked about that in one of our earlier podcasts as well.
Yes.
We always have dedicated time for us. There isn't a day that I can think of, generally speaking, that we haven't done that.
Yeah,
Almost
I
every
agree.
day, there's
I agree.
something we do together, which is nice. Whether it's dinner, typically it's the jacuzzi lately, or the
Jacuzzi,
gym,
yeah.
right? But there's always something, and I do think we're actually pretty good at putting work away when we're ready to put work away. I mean, if there's something that's really important, then we know we've got to go do that. But I think we've gotten really good at just shoving aside things that get in our way for us to be a couple when it's time to
Yes.
be a couple, right?
Yes.
And we don't take ourselves overly seriously either sometimes. I think that helps. But you have to be intentional. And I think we've gotten really good at being intentional.
Yes, you have to be there, in your mind that you have to put, like you were saying, boundaries and always put each other's first before anything else.
Yeah, I think that that's a good thing to remember is, you married that person for a reason. They shouldn't be third on your list.
Yes.
If third on your list, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So that was a lot today. We could go so much deeper. I know, like I said, I could probably talk
Yes.
about this for hours, but that's today's episode of Sold on Love from the Orange Chairs.
And if you're living your truth or thinking about it, we hope this feel like a friend of
Yeah.
on your ear, you know.
Yeah. Listen, life is messy. There are going to be lots of messy moments that come out. Love is messy. We both know that. we're messy every once in a while, but being who you are is always worth it. It's worth the mess.
Yes. So, well, that is everything for this episode. Until next time, and from our hearts and from our orange shirts, we wish you a happy week. And also, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, always give us a feedback or a comment, and
Yeah.
send your questions.
Yes, please, because love is real, life is real, and home is where you finally feel safe.
This is Stolen Love from the Orange Shirts. Have a good week.
Take care, everybody.